Book of Isaiah 66 verse 22. For just as the new heavens and the new earth which I make will endure before me, declares the Lord, so your offspring and your name will endure. Explanation and meaning. This verse appears near the closing chapter of Book of Isaiah, where God speaks of future restoration, judgment, and hope. It is one of the clearest Old Testament glimpses of God's eternal future, a renewed creation where His purposes stand forever. For just as the new heavens and the new earth, God promises a completely renewed order of existence. This is not merely political peace, economic recovery, or temporary improvement. It points to a future reality where the brokenness of sin, death, corruption, injustice, and suffering are removed. The phrase, new heavens and new earth, is later echoed in Book of Revelation 21, where God dwells with His people and wipes away every tear. Isaiah shows that history is not random chaos, it is moving toward restoration. Which I make will endure before me. Human kingdoms rise and fall, nations change, economies shake, technology becomes obsolete. But what God creates lasts. This matters today because many people build identity on unstable things: social approval, money, appearance, political systems, careers, relationships, a loan, public reputation. None of these are secure foundations. God reminds us that only what He establishes is lasting, so your offspring and your name will endure. To the people hearing Isaiah, this meant covenant continuity. God would preserve His people. Their identity would not vanish despite exile, suffering, or enemies. For believers today, it reminds us that those who belong to God are not forgotten. Your life may feel small in a fast-moving world, but God preserves what belongs to Him. Name speaks of identity, legacy, and belonging. Many today struggle with questions like, do I matter? Will anyone remember me? Is my life wasted? Am I replaceable? God's answer is that identity rooted in Him endures beyond this age. Relevance for today. 1. When the world feels unstable, wars, division, anxiety, and moral confusion can make people fearful. This verse says the future is ultimately not in human hands but in God's. Point 2. When life feels seasons change, loss happens, yet God promises an eternal future beyond present decay. Point 3. When people feel forgotten, many feel invisible. But God knows every faithful act, every tear, every prayer. What is surrendered to Him is never meaningless. Point 4. When culture rejects truth, society constantly reinvents values. God's truth does not expire. His kingdom is not updated by trends. Personal encouragement. If you feel weary, disappointed, or discouraged, Isaiah 66:22 says, "This present world is not the final chapter. God is preparing something permanent, pure, and glorious. What He begins, He completes." Your circumstances may shift, but God's promises do not. Practical application. Ask yourself, am I investing only in temporary things? Is my identity built on public opinion or on God? Do I live as if eternity is real? Where do I need hope today? Try living one day this week with eternity in mind. Forgive faster, worry less, love deeper, trust more. Summary. Isaiah 66:22 teaches that just as God will create a lasting new heavens and new earth, He will preserve His people and their identity before Him. In a fragile world full of uncertainty, this verse offers steady hope. What belongs to God endures forever.